Respected Dr. R.C. Agarwal, today Chief Guest, Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh, Director IRI, Dr. Rasmi Agarwal, Dean IRI, Dr. K.M. Manjaiya, Associate Dean, Dr. Vaibhav Kumar Singh, all Principal Scientists of the Division of Plant Pathology, other scientists of plant pathology, Dr. Salendra Jha, and all dear students who came here today for attending this very important training for 10 days. From the core of the heart, first of all, I would like to welcome our most respected DDG Education, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, who is here today with us in spite of his busy schedule. He accepted our request and is available for the inaugurating of this important training program. Sir, we are very grateful to you and we extend warm welcome to you on this occasion. Thank you very much, sir, for coming to the Division of Plant Pathology for this. Dr. R.C. Agarwal, after doing his BSc from Agra in 1983, and after that did MSc from this Premier Institute in 1985 and PhD also from IRI. Joined NBPGR in 1989 as a ARS scientist, and after getting principal scientist, he is associated closely with PPVFRA. And from 2009 to 2019, for 10 years, he worked as Registrar General of the PPV and FRA authority, and he has worked during that period, established 110 DUS centers in the country, 5 regional stations, and many varieties were registered during his period in PPV FRA Gazette notification. So, sir is presently also the nodal officer for RCM, regional committee meeting. He organizes in different places and successfully implement the recommendation. Presently holding the position of DDG Education. So, sir, with your presence, we all will feel motivated, and certainly your address will help us and the students in their career to do further excellence in their work. Thank you very much, sir, and again welcome. We have also our Honorable Director, Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh, and sir, your kind presence will guide us today for doing the best in our research work, in teaching, in education. Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh, we know all his biodata, but the students are from different 14 states, from other places, so they will get motivation to listen your biodata, sir. So I have to read. Born in village. ठीक है sir. ठीक है sir. Sir, we welcome from the core of the heart. You, sir, you are not only guiding the student and teachers, but you are also a friend of the farmers. When we visit farmers, so you so इमोशनल विद देम दैट आप किसानों के पूरे दोस्त हैं और आपके समय में बड़ा ही प्रगति होगी देश की. सर, वी वेलकम यू फ्रॉम द कोर ऑफ द हार्ट. थैंक यू सर फॉर कमिंग. We have also our respected Madam Dean, NAS Fellow, and Madam, it is your own program as Dean as well as Head. So we welcome you for this function. Thank you, Madam, for your devoted time. Okay. So we welcome also Dr. K.M. Manjaiya, Associate Dean, who is also the nodal person of this project. And I also welcome Dr. Vaibhav Kumar Singh, who is the course director. And I welcome all the principal scientists and the students who have come from different places. So I welcome all for this inaugural function. Thanks all for coming. And now I request Madam Rasmi Agarwal to please welcome our chief guest, Dr. Rakesh Chandra Agarwal, with a flower Please. Thank you, sir. Madam, please welcome our Honorable Director with a flower pot. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. I request Dr. Manjaya to please welcome Madam Rasmi.
What plant is it?
I request Dr. Weber to please welcome Dr. Manjaya. हाँ वो भी करा देंगे. Thanks. I request the Honorable Chief Guest and Director IRI, Madam and all others to please lighten the map for inaugurating this important meeting.
Thank you all.
Thanks all the dignitaries for lighting the map. Now I request Krishma for further conducting the session.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Vaibhav K. Singh, Course Director of this training program, to give opening remarks to this house.
Most respected dignitaries on the dais, DDG Agriculture Education ICR, Dr. Rakesh Chandra Agarwal sir, our beloved Director IRI, Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh sir, Dr. Rasmi Agarwal Madam, Dean and Joint Director Education and Head Division of Plant Pathology IRI, Dr. K.M. Manjaya sir, Nodal Officer, NAHEP CAST Project IRI, dignitaries of the dais, Professor Dr. V.K. Barnwal, Dr. Kumar sir, Dr. G.P. Rao sir, Dr. Saharan sir, Dr. Annapurna ma'am, and Dr. Parmila ma'am, trainees, invitees, member of the core committee and associates of the NAHEP CAST project, scientists, students, and media, youth and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. We all are well aware that the rust fungi are the pathogen of major importance in agricultural and human civilization. It causes a significant losses to the wheat crop and other cereal hosts worldwide, and at present, the emergence of more aggressive than previously identified pathotypes, appearance of high-tolerant pathotypes of rust, information on occurrence and movement of rust pathogen, identification of newer pathotypes, frequent breakdown of effective R gene, sources of durable rust resistant gene, understanding rust pathogen at genomic and molecular diagnostics, and high throughput phenotyping facility are still having a major concern in developing a strategy to combating with the dreaded rust fungi. world over, including India. To combat with the evolving rust pathogen and to keep pace with the advances, there is a need to train the student in the area of advanced techniques to understand dynamicity of wheat rust so that sustainable management to curtail losses can be achieved. With this background, we have planned to conduct this training program for the student and research scholar of this country with the topic of pathophenotyping and genome-guided characterization of rust fungi infecting wheat and other cereal crops jointly with the Division of Genetics at Division of Plant Pathology, IRI. The main objective of this training program is to train the youth, student and research scholars in the advanced techniques in the rust research and development. After getting approval from NIAF on 29th August, we have uploaded the brochure along with application form on the CAST website as well as the IRI website to wider communication among the students of the country. The last date of submitting the application was 30th November. Total 64 candidates were applied for this training program. We have selected 25 based on from the 15 states of the country based on their research engagement on rust pathogens of wheat and other cereals in particular and other diseases of wheat in general. Since this training topic is very specific to rust pathogen in their host, so we have created the guidelines to select the only students, those who are working in the area of wheat, particularly on the rust. So this training program consists of 20 lectures and 8 practicals by the eminent experts. The lecture will be delivered in the forenoon and the practicals will be conducted in the afternoon. The eminent scientists like Dr. N.K. Singh, Dr. Kishore Gaikwad from NIPB, Dr. G.P. Singh, Dr. Gyanendra Singh, Dr. Sudhir and Dr. P.L. Kashyap from the IAWBR Karnal, Dr. S.C. Bhardwaj from IAWBR Regional Station Flowerdale, Dr. A.N. Mishra, ICR eminent scientist from IRI Regional Station Indore, Dr. Rashmi Agarwal, Dr. Binod, Dr. Kumar sir, Dr. Saharan sir, Dr. Anirban and Dr. Neelu Jain from IRI, besides other young scientists and experts, are the resource person during the training program. Visit to the facilities like confocal microscopy, genome sequencer, bioinformatics data center, phytotron and phenomics are also planned during the training program. Last but the least, we are very much grateful to the NIAP CAST project for giving this opportunity to organize this training program in collaboration with the Division of Genetics. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now request our registered participants to introduce themselves to this house. Ma'am, please do mention your place. All the participants are required to mention their names and their places, respective places. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. My name is Sonakshi. I am a PhD first year student from ATU Bihar.
Good morning, all of you. I am Sarla Kumar. I am doing PhD scholar from JNKV Jabalpur. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Harmandeep Kaur. I am pursuing my PhD from PAU Ludhiana on leaf rust of wheat.
Good morning, everybody. Myself, Sunil Kumar, pursuing PhD from SKN Agriculture University, Jomner, Rajasthan.
Good morning, everybody. Myself, Mukund Davle. I am pursuing my MSc Agriculture from DBSKKV, Dapoli. Dr. Balasaheb Sawant Kokon Krishi Vidyapit, Dapoli.
Good morning to all of you. Myself, Vishal Kumar, pursuing Master of Science from Chandrasekhar Azad, University of Agriculture Technology, Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Myself, Pashupat Osmatkar, and I am pursuing PhD in biochemistry from Punjab Agriculture University, Ludhiana. My work is on olive leaf blight. Yes, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Mohammed Rafi. I am pursuing PhD in agriculture university.
Good morning, everybody. I am Malik M, Division of Genetics, ICR IRI, New Delhi.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dharmateja, pursuing PhD in Division of Genetics, ICR IRI, New Delhi.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Srinivas. I am pursuing my MSc from ICR IRI.
Good morning to everyone. Myself, Mayur Tesia, PhD first year from Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana.
Good morning everyone. Myself Suresh Yadav, Division of Genetics, ICR IRI, New Delhi, PhD second year student working on mapping and transfer of rust resistant genes from tetraploid background to transfer in hexaploid background. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jnana Singh. I am from Uttar Banga Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, West Bengal.
Good morning, everyone. I'm M. Mahalakshmi from Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai, from Tamil Nadu, and I'm pursuing my first MSc in MSc Biotechnology.
Good morning. I am Rafaqat Hussain, pursuing Masters in Division of Plant Pathology, SCOST, Jammu.
Good morning. Myself, Mahendra Kumar Saran, MSc Plant Pathology from AU Jodhpur.
Good morning. My name is Rahul Anand. I am from Dr. Rajendra Prasad Central Agriculture University, Pusa, Samastipur. I am doing MSc.
Good morning to all of you. Myself, Sachin Kumar. I am pursuing PhD, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel University of Agriculture and Technology, Modipuram, Meerut.
Good morning to all. Myself Reshma Ahmed. I am coming from Assam Agriculture University, Jorhat, and I am a PhD scholar in the Department of Agricultural Biotechnology, and my work is on identification of defense-related genes in the wild species of rapeseeds for controlling Alternaria blight disease. Thank you.
Good morning, one and all. My name is Lipa Dev, and I'm pursuing my PhD in plant pathology from Central Agriculture University, Imphal, Meghalaya. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Monica. I am a PhD student from HAU Hisar. Thank you.
Good morning, myself Divya Singh Parihar, AMDU to Kumarganj, Ayodhya. My research work on spot blotch of wheat.
Good morning, all of you. I am Somishri Mane. I am PhD second year student from MPKV Rahuri, Maharashtra.
Thank you all. Now I request Dr. K.M. Manjaya, Associate Dean IARI, also Nodal Officer NAHP CAST, to brief about the NAHP CAST program to this house.
Most respected Dr. R.C. Agarwal, DDG Education, ICR, and National Director NHAP, and today's guest for the inaugural function of this training program. Most Honorable Dr. A.K. Singh, the Director IR in New Delhi, Dr. Rashmi Agarwal, Dean and Joint Director Education, Dr. Vaibhav Singh, the Course Director, and all the rest of the course coordinators, Dr. Annapurna, Head Microbiology, Dr. Baranwal, Dr. Kumar, and senior faculty members of Plant Pathology and core team members of NHP CAST. We have so far 11 programs of this nature have been arranged so far, and about total 280 plus MSc and PhD students, as many as more than 25 SAUs have been as a record. So to cover all the SAUs, deemed universities, even the UGC recognized universities, so we have trained on different aspects. In addition to that, our own students from IARI, they have been sent abroad. About 9 students so far have the benefit of exposure outside. As many as another 15 to 16, they are in the pipeline. So during this year, so they are going to get the benefit of visiting the international labs to learn the techniques and adapt in their MSc and PhD research programs. Similarly, faculty are also being encouraged to get the training and also acquire the knowledge to pass it on to the faculties as well as their research activities, and also most importantly to disseminate this knowledge in this very cutting edge area to all the SIUs through distant mode, as we are going to have this kind of information generated especially by the way of these training programs. Sir, I would like to emphasize that online courses and e-resources, so far we have developed and delivered about 30 of such. Then webinars and video conferencing classes, so far 120 we have already covered. Practical and training manuals, 11 already been uploaded in the NHEP website. Large number of students, faculty from across the universities and institutions have started viewing the valuable e-resources which have been housed in the YouTube, and also a link has been given in our NHEP CAST website, sir. So with this brief introduction, we are also having the ambitious plan of organizing workshops. Maybe, possibly some of you or all of you might be getting an opportunity at the end of this year to interact with what you have really learned from this training program, how you are going to be utilizing effectively in your MSc or PhD research activities. So we are going to have a workshop for the faculty as well as for the students, beneficiaries from these kind of training programs. And we are also having a medium to short term training come research program, wherein some of you might also get the opportunity to interact with our faculty at IRI. So I welcome all the dignitaries to this very important inaugural function of this training program, and more so with respect to our young friends from across the states representing different institutes. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your brief introduction about the project. Now I request our beloved Dean and Joint Director, Education, ICR, IRI, to give remarks on this today's program.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to all of you in this winter. Most respected, our chief guest of today's inaugural function of NHEP CAST program, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, who is DDG Education at ICR and also the National Director of this NHEP program. Honorable Director Dr. A.K. Singh, and I'm really pleased to have him here in the division. After joining as Director IRI, he has visited the division, and sir, we heartily welcome you in the division and all the greetings from the Division of Plant Pathology. On behalf of Division of Plant Pathology, on behalf of all the faculty, I heartily welcome, and I have already requested our Honorable Director to come sometime to interact with all the scientists and students and staff of Division of Plant Pathology. And he has kindly accepted and he will give us the time. Thank you so much, sir, for coming and giving us the guidance. On the dais, we have Associate Dean Dr. K.M. Manjaiya, who is also the Nodal Officer of NHEP program, and also Course Director Dr. Vaibhav Singh, who has casted this program of training the students across the country on the topic pathophenotyping and genome-guided characterization of rust pathogen affecting the cereal crops. I see a galaxy of trainees, the students, mostly PhD and some MSc also from different universities, and most of you are associated with wheat program in one or the other way, and many of you are working on the rust pathogens also. And let me share with, I also welcome all the core team members of NHEP program, Dr. Annapurna, Head Microbiology, Dr. V.K. Baranwal, Professor of Division of Plant Pathology, Dr. G.P. Rao, Dr. A. Kumar, and also Pramila, Principal Scientist from the division. And I see Dr. Alka Singh also in the audience. She's also one of the core members and Professor of Agriculture Economics Division, and other Principal Scientists, and all the students. So this is, as Dr. Manjia said, it's a student-centric program, and we take, one of the objective is to train the students across the country from different state agriculture universities and other universities, who at this very early stage, if they are given the exposure to advanced techniques, then they have a long way to go and they can utilize these learned experience, a hands-on experience from a premier institution like IRA under this NHEP CAST program. So we are so delighted that 25 trainees are there amongst us, and they will be here for another 10 days in the division, and they will be learning all different basic, conventional, and also advanced techniques, and also they will be enlightened by the eminent speakers which Dr. Weber mentioned in the initial remarks. So with these words, I welcome once again all the trainees, and if you have any difficulty of any kind, if you want any information from the Division of Plant Pathology, from all of us, and any physical difficulty if you are facing, kindly let us know. We are here to solve all your problems, and from now onwards, after 10 days of training program, we are there to help you in all your future programs in any way you want. So these words, once again, I welcome all of you, and again hearty welcome to our chief guest, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, and also our Honorable Director, Dr. A.K. Singh, coming here and accepting our invitation. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our chief guest, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, and our guest of honor, Director Ashok K. Singh, to join hands to release the manual of the training program. Thank you all. I now request our guest of honor and chairman of today's inaugural program, Dr. Ashok K. Singh, Director ICAR, to address the gathering.
A very good morning to each one of you, and my apology to jump, before for breaking the queue. Because I have a meeting at 11 o'clock, someone coming from Niti Aayog, a senior level officer, so I have to join there. My most esteemed colleague, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, Dr. Rasmi Agarwal, Dr. Manjaya Vaibhav, the course coordinator, distinguished faculty of the Division of Plant Pathology and the NHEP program as a whole. All the participants in this training program, I heartily welcome each one of you to this cold weather in Delhi. This has been going on for quite long. As a matter of fact, this is third or fourth training happening in the same extreme cold weather, one in physiology, then in biochemistry, and now we have here. Friends, I have known Dr. Agarwal for a very long time, and the kind of dynamic leadership that he has is something admirable. As Registrar General of the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority, the manner and the way he managed the entire, authorities' mandate and taking it to an international level, particularly negotiating with European unions on several platforms, having them regularly, almost every year, and making them aware about what India is doing, how India is different. Negotiation on this international forum is a very tough task because in negotiating at international platform, you are always pushed to a corner. You are pushed so much that finally you surrender and you accept the terms and conditions that are imposed upon you. Unless and until you are fully prepared and you are convinced and determined on what you want, what is best for your country and your people and your farmers, you will not be able to negotiate. And that is the job that Dr. Agarwal has done so well. Although his basic specialization is statistics, but the way he negotiates on the, and when he talks, he presents his lecture, you will not be able to make it that he is not a geneticist our plant breeder, the kind of understanding that he has developed. So we are very fortunate to have him as the Deputy Director General Education and leading the NAHEP training program, which is a core project for human resource development in higher education in agriculture. We have been lacking. We had few attempts in past, like HRD training program in 90s. It was initiated under NATP project. Many of us got the opportunity to go for 2 months, 3 months abroad, and that exposure was really wonderful. That transformed many of our life. And at that point of time, the opportunities for training within countries were not available. Fortunately, now we have best of the best human resource, facilities, knowledge through internet, and this has made it possible to have the same quality training organized within country, and we are fortunate to have that opportunity. We also have program of sending some selected students abroad as well for a brief period, and also the faculty. So this training will go a long way in building your career. Before the inauguration, at the time of inaugurations, we had this lighting of lamp, right? And you have 2 circles of lamp. On the top, 5 flames, and the bottoms you have 5 flames. And these 5 flames represent the 5 Gyanendriya, the senses, and the bottom 5, they are Karmendriya. Now you have to be enlightened for all your Gyanendriya, by which you have, for example, you can see, you can touch, you can feel, you can smell. These are Gyanendriyas. And then you have Karmendriyas, which deals with your hand, with your leg, that provides you movement. And both Gyanendriya and Karmendriya have to be strong, and there has to be a proper coordination between the two to make you succeed. This is very, very important. And that is why this system of lighting the lamp and enlightening ourselves persists in our tradition. Also you see in that there is a diya, what is called lamp, then there is a bati, and there was a camphor at the top, right? And this kind of training program, the role of the trainers, the teachers here, is that of camphor that ignites the light very fast. I was trying to burn the flame from below, it was not catching. The moment I put it on camphor, the flame came up. So the camphor role is of the teacher. But how ignited you are, how long you will burn, how you will perform in the future would depend upon how much oil you have in you, and that is your brain, that is your IQ, and how much hard work you do. That is what will make you different from rest of the people who have not got the opportunity to come here, and you are fortunate among many who applied, but you are here and you have got this opportunity. I wish when you go back from this training, you also spread your knowledge. All the lectures and everything will be available on the YouTube, so you can ask your friends to watch. You can give a lecture when you go back on each of the topics so that you educate others. The opportunities for your growth is unlimited. There is no limit for your success. Dr. Mahajan wanted to say something about me, not to glorify myself, but to just put a few things as an example, which could be inspirational for many of you. Your time is far better than the time of many of us sitting here. Coming from very humble rural background, from farmers' family, when we used to go to schools, in primary schools, घर से हम लोग बोरी लेकर के जाते थे, बिछा करके बगीचे में बैठ करके पढ़ाई होती थी, क्योंकि स्कूल की छतें टूटी होती थीं, उसमें से बरसात के दिनों में पानी गिरने लगता था, और धूप बाहर होती थी, या गर्मी के दिनों में छाया की वजह से बगीचे में बैठ करके पढ़ते थे हम लोग. अगर स्कूल की बिल्डिंग यहाँ थी तो बगीचा जो है वहाँ से 200-300 मीटर दूर होता था. नंगे पाँव जाते थे, पाँव में चप्पल नहीं होती थी, हाई स्कूल तक वो स्थिति थी. हाई स्कूल में जा कर के स्लीपर शायद मिला होगा, लेकिन प्राइमरी स्कूल में और मिडिल में नंगे पाँव हम लोग जाते थे. घर से दौड़ के जाते थे स्कूल और दौड़ करके आते थे बिना कहीं रास्ते में रुके। घर पे आकर के सारा काम करना होता था, बैलों का चारा काटना, खिलाना, गोबर उठाना, सिर पे गोबर लेकर के फेंकना, और बरसात के दिनों में जब गोबर गीला हो जाता था तो वो पानी टपकता था और कपड़े सारे ख़राब हो जाते थे। उससे बचने के लिए जो बोरी होती है वो सर पे रखते थे, फिर ऊपर से खांची रख करके गोबर फेंकने को जाते थे। तो और इसके बाद फिर हाई स्कूल इंटर में पढ़ने के लिए अपने घर से 20 किलोमीटर साइकिल चला के जाना और 20 किलोमीटर डेली साइकिल चला करके आना, रोज़ का ये कार्यक्रम होता था। पूरे 4 वर्ष, 9वीं, 10वीं, 11वीं, 12वीं। और शुरू से मैंने तो एग्रीकल्चर किया, हाई स्कूल भी एग्रीकल्चर से किया, इंटर भी एग्रीकल्चर से किया, और बीएससी एग्रीकल्चर, एमएससी एग्रीकल्चर, सारा एग्रीकल्चर से किया। इंग्लिश पढ़ने का मौका नहीं मिला। हम लोगों की इंग्लिश सिर्फ 6वीं, 7वीं, 8वीं मिडिल स्कूल में पढ़ाई जाती थी। इंग्लिश से डर लगता था, और 9वीं, 10वीं में जब गए तो अंग्रेजी विषय नहीं था। तो सिर्फ 6वीं, 7वीं, 8वीं जिसमें ABCD और टूटे फूटे सेंटेंस यही पढ़ने का मौका मिला। और 1979 में जब बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी में BSc में एडमिशन मिला, मेरी यूपी बोर्ड में 4th पोजीशन आई थी। यूपी बोर्ड बहुत बड़ा बोर्ड है कंट्री का, जिसमें कि करीब 20-25 लाख लोग एग्ज़ाम में बैठते हैं, तो उसमें 4th पोजीशन थी। लेकिन जब BHU एडमिशन लेने के लिए गया तो उस समय अंग्रेजी हटाओ आंदोलन चल रहा था, और जब हम लोग रिक्शे पे बैठ करके जाते थे और जहाँ जहाँ नारा देखते थे दीवार के ऊपर, तो मन में बहुत खुशी होती थी कि जल्दी से अंग्रेजी हट जाए ताकि हम कुछ पढ़ पाएँ, नहीं तो हमें कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा। और फैक्ट यही था कि जब BSc में पढ़ने के लिए गए तो उस समय बहुत सारे अध्यापकों में से एक अध्यापक डॉक्टर BD सिंह थे, जिनको आप सभी लोग जानते हैं, बाद में हमारे वो MSc के सुपरवाइज़र भी रहे। वो कनाडा से लौट करके आए थे, बहुत अच्छी अंग्रेजी बोलते थे, लेकिन मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ में आता था। तो यहाँ तक करना पड़ता था कि अंग्रेजी के जो सेंटेंस थे उसको एज सच हिंदी में लिख करके ले आते थे, फिर डिक्शनरी ले करके बैठ करके उसको ट्रांसलेट करते थे, समझने की कोशिश करते थे, और प्रयास इस तरह से करते रहे। फिर जो है मेहनत का फल था जो सफलता मिली। तो ये मैं इसलिए नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि ये सिर्फ हमारी कहानी है, हमारे जैसे बहुत सारे लोगों की, और हमारी पीढ़ी से पहले वाले लोगों की। इससे भी लाल बहादुर शास्त्री के बारे में आप लोग सुनते हैं, रामनगर से जब वो आते थे बनारस पढ़ने के लिए तो गंगा जी तैर करके और किताब हाथ में उठा करके, इसके बाद तैर करके गंगा जी पार करके आते थे। तो उस समय और विकट परिस्थितियाँ थीं। इस समय परिस्थितियाँ बहुत बदल गई हैं। ज्ञान का भंडार, अपार भंडार इंटरनेट के माध्यम से आपके दरवाजे पर है। कितना उसका उपयोग आप कर सकते हैं, कितना समय देते हैं, ये आपके ऊपर निर्भर करता है। और इस तरह के जो प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम हैं, ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स हैं, these will help you. I'm sorry for some of the friends who may not be able to follow what I said, but maybe your friends can translate it for you. I was just describing the difficult situations in which we had our primary education, the great, big hardship. But if you are committed, if you are determined, if you are hardworking, if you are sincere, if your goal is very clear, I remember still one slogan while going on cycle from my village to school, 20 kilometers daily. There was a slogan by the Central Public Works Department. In Hindi, it used to read as दूरदृष्टि, कड़ी मेहनत, पक्का इरादा। अनुशासन ही देश को और इंसान को महान बनाता है। सो दूरदृष्टि मीन्स लॉन्ग विजन, कड़ी मेहनत हार्ड वर्क, पक्का इरादा determination, and अनुशासन that is discipline. These are the things that make a person and a nation great. So I hope you will follow that. It is never too late to begin, and you still have long way to go. I wish you a very successful career and very successful training program. Thank you. I take your permission to leave because I have some guests waiting for me. Thank you.
Now I request our Chief Guest Dr. R.C. Agarwal, DDG Agricultural Education, to give Chief Guest remarks.
Thank you, madam. My very old colleague, Dr. A.K. Singh, just now he left, but we worked very closely in various capacities. Dr. Rasmi Agarwal, the other colleagues, the faculty from this esteemed institute, who gave us the education, who gave us MSc, PhD. So it's always pleasure to work for this institute. It's a matter of always pride. Dear participants, mainly the students and other colleagues present in this hall. As it has been told by Dr. A.K. Singh, the situation during our time was very difficult. Very difficult in many sense. We didn't have the many facilities which now is thought it's a right for everybody, but that time it was not a matter of right. Even I think Dr. Rasmi Agarwal can supplement, Dr. Manjaya also can supplement this, that even the books which we used to have, I think for generations we used to have the same books. For 10 years, 11 years. So if it is bought by your eldest brother, the same thing will continue. And then it will go to some other family. Because even that time the people could not afford to buy the books. They were very cheap, but still buying, like my fee for 1 year was 1 rupee 25 paisa. Okay, but that 1 rupee 25 paisa was also not given to us. So my elder brother used to go to deposit that money, that I should not lose that money or something. So that was the kind of harsh situation with everybody. But what I'm trying to say is, but still people had a lot of love for the education. Okay, so whatever hard situation is there, whatever work they have to do, physical labor, there was no electricity up to graduation. Up to graduation, we all studied in the kerosene oil. But still, there was no way, no excuse that, okay, because the facility is not there, because today light is not there, the AC is not there, or because I don't have this facility, so I will not appear in exams, or I will not read or other. But today you see it's entirely changed world. You are sitting in the air-conditioned hall. You are having opportunities under this NEHEP to go abroad. Okay. At that time, even to sit in the bus was looking like you are sitting in an aeroplane. Okay. So even cycle was a luxury. Okay. If we are 8%, 10, it was always joint family, 10 persons in the family. You cannot have 10 cycles in your house. So only if one person is going on a cycle, you have to have 2 more persons sitting on the cycle. So 3 persons. So cycle was also a luxury, you can just see. Now even car is not a luxury. Okay. Now people think that I should have enough money so that I can buy my chartered plane. I can have my house at the sea beach. So those are the kind of ambitions now. But not otherwise. I should have a mobile of 1.5 lakh rupees. I should have so many things. Because you can afford it. You can have plenty in the market. So the problem is nowadays of the plenty. Okay. You can see in the education, you can see in the knowledge. If you have to see something on the Google, if you want to search one topic, you will get millions of results. You have to search that which is most relevant for you. Okay. And that is your wiseness, how you can select the most relevant thing. If you have to go to buy a car, you may have to do a research for 2 months that which is the best car for you. During our time, there was no research. Only one car, Fiat or a Mazda was available. So you have to just go, and if you can afford, go. If you have to buy a scooter, you just go. It was a Vespa or Bajaj, only 2 scooters. Now you will have plenty. You may have to just go for 2 months to just see what are the offers, what is the mileage, what is this, that, a lot of things. So in every field, it's a really question of plenty, problem of plenty, and we should not lose our positive energies in those things which are available in plenty. Like most of the persons, if I have to search something on the Google, so I will, after some time I will forget what I was searching for. I get interest in some other topics and I will start reading, and then they will take me to some other, and then at the end of the day, I will be in some different world. So please be focused, like in this training program also, whatever is being taught, these are lifetime opportunities. After some time you will feel that yes, you lost the opportunity if you are not attentive. Under this, I'll just say under NAHEP, we have around 1,200 crore rupees, under which we have given the projects under 3 subcomponents. And one of the biggest component is IDP, Institutional Development Plan, under which we have given around 16 projects. Another 3 we are going to give in the 3rd phase. Under the Center of Advanced Studies in Agriculture, we have given around 14 projects. Again, we are giving some more projects. So under IG, we have again given around 20 projects, innovation grants. But ultimately, aim of any of these subcomponent is just to improve the quality of the agriculture education. And the quality cannot be improved just by investing the money. Even if today we are investing 1,200 crores, even if we have 2 lakh crores, you cannot improve the quality until unless you have the attention of the students, you have the inclination of the students toward the agriculture education. So that we have to really see how we can attract the young minds towards the agriculture. And for that, recently we have taken a decision that in the month of February, we are organizing 45 workshops through our 45 partners across the country, where we are going to call all the principals, we are going to call all the science teachers, because they are the one who can further propagate this message to the students. Okay, so that they can tell the students, okay, these are the opportunities in agriculture. Normally, after 12th class, you must have seen, you all must have come through that stage. Most of the students, they are either opt for medical or engineering. So only 2 options. And a general question, when I also go to any friend's house, they will say, what for you are preparing? Agriculture, this medical or engineering? But have you heard anybody talking that, okay, are you preparing for agriculture? No, because they are not aware. Even if you ask where this potato is grown, so they will not be able to know whether it is hanging on a tree or it is a tuber or what is that, because they have not seen. So if you are not knowing the basics, then how can you get attention towards that subject? So that is our now focus, that how best we can explain the different avenues, that yes, we have the precision agriculture, we have the fields like genomics, the training which we are attending for various aspects for this phenomics, this in the pathology. Okay. Then there are many avenues. IoTs you can have the use of robotics. Okay. So if you have interest in the engineering, you can have interest in agriculture for robotics. Okay. You can go in artificial intelligence. Okay. So it's not that agriculture means now you have to go to the field, grow something, and that is only agriculture. So all those things are not known. And through this education division, through this NAHEP, we are trying to have that kind of confidence in the students. Just, I think day 4 yesterday, I was in Raipur. I was addressing the youth convention of agriculture students, All India Youth Convention. And there was a technical session also. I was trying to know the problems of the students and how best we can have the best talent attracted towards the agriculture. So there also the lot of suggestions came and ultimately we could note down certain recommendations. But the main point is that we have to just see that how best we can create the best entrepreneurs through this education. Okay, education. Generally, we ask, everybody asks, okay, so ultimate aim is what? To get the jobs. But that should not be the ultimate objective. Okay, so that is required for the livelihood, that we require some job, we require some money to have our lifestyle. But our aim has to be something else also. Okay, like we have to address some of these social problems. Okay, there are n number of social problems, whether it's a climate change, whether it's a nutrition problem, food security problem, population explosion. So can we address in our whole life even single problem? Just make target that, okay, this single problem I will target. Okay, so it can be by seeking the job, it can be by converting yourself into a successful entrepreneur. Madam, I could meet around 20 young entrepreneurs in Raipur, and they demonstrated beautifully their interventions. And they were all graduates or postgraduates. So they left the job, and through that KVK they are getting the training of 2 months. NABARD has come forward to give a loan of 25 lakh rupees, and they are all converting in a very successful entrepreneurs. And one person who was who was on a job in a private company, now he says he has employed, he's a just graduate, okay, in agriculture, but he's employing 5 PhD students with him. He is employing postgraduate students with him. Can you just imagine? Without any investment, just idea. Okay, there was some new technique they have evolved, that they will have this fish at their rooftops. Okay, they have artificial pond kind of things. So, and sufficient fish just on the rooftop. So you don't have any land, you don't have anything. Okay, and that kit they are selling. Okay, very affordable price. Okay. So like that, there are many things which are coming, which can come only from the young minds. Okay. And that is what we are trying to create through this CAST program, through this such training programs. Our students, till date, we have sent around 300 students abroad from 45 universities. And I have spoken to many students, and you just see their vision, which is changed after they go abroad for 3 months training. Okay. Then suddenly, if you ask them, so they have now future plans, that whether they want to go for the higher studies, or they want to convert into entrepreneur, or they want to do something else. Okay. So that we cannot send each and every student abroad, but at least we can change the culture so that people are attracted more and more number towards this. Everybody cannot be a researcher, everybody cannot be an entrepreneur. So everybody cannot go for the space research, everybody cannot be a doctor. You need every kind of person in the society to run the society. So in agriculture also, we need every kind of person. So if we inculcate that everybody should become an entrepreneur, that is also not possible. Then who will do the research, who will do the teaching? So just decide what is yours and try to do the excellence in that. Okay? You must have heard the word academics. Academic is different from education, or both are synonyms. Okay? So from where you have derived this word academic, which we just compare that, okay, academic excellence. Okay? So if you see the history of this academics, academic is derived from the word academia. You may be knowing academia. It's a Greek word. And before the birth of Christ, 500 years before that, there was an academia, an institution which used to produce best of the best brains. Okay, so that is the kind of standard. Socrates, this was established by Plato. Plato was the student of Socrates. You can just see the confusion of those minds. Okay, and then they had their student Aristotle, then Alexander the Great. So that kind of excellence was there. Okay. So today also we use the same word and we say that yes, academic excellence. So can we achieve that kind of excellence? In India also you must have seen, there was a lot of gurukuls. We use the same word gurukul now. But can we meet the standards of those gurukuls which were there at that time? Okay. So this training program also, whatever you have, I think this is a gurukul. This is really best of the best institution where you are sitting. It's not that easy for every student to come to this institute. Like in engineering, it's not possible for every student to get admission in IITs. So IARI is the same kind of status. If you ask anybody in agriculture anywhere in the world, they know the standard of this IARI. This short-term training program is really very important for you, and you will have the best of the best faculty available here, and that best of the best topics, the way they teach, the way they clear your concepts. So kindly make full utilization of this short-term training program. And another benefit of this such training programs is you develop your networks also. So otherwise, to work in the multicultural program environment is not that possible. So you will have now a lot of friends added into your directory. So you can, in future also you can interact with them. And so that is the byproduct of this. So use that network also. Post training, you will have a network with the faculty, the best of the best faculty. After completion of training program, you can have the continuous touch with them for any kind of support, help, whatever you want. And in the last, I will say that this was just for any HEP, I was just talking about in general. I'm not a subject expert that I can talk on this pathophenotyping or something. But what I can say is that through education division also, we are trying to make many changes now, whether it's in exam patterns for PG or PhD, or revision of the subject, the syllabus of various subjects through BSMA, and to change the pattern of the accreditation also. We are now trying to have ranking of the universities so that you can know what are the best of the best universities, where they stand, and many other things. I'm not going to talk those changes, but ultimately we are just trying that how best we can have the changes in our education pattern, in agriculture education pattern, so that we can have this generation ready for meeting the challenges of the future. Okay? And it is only you who are going to face those challenges. And you have to be prepared yourself, whether it's a food security. Okay? Now, again in food, it's a concern of plenty. Okay? Now we have a lot of food available. You know how much we had in 1950 and now how much now we have in 2020. Okay? But then again the alarming figure is that how much we waste. 30% of the food is wasted. 30% of the food grain production is wasted. So it is a challenge now. How you can stop. Okay? So it's not the matter that always we have to go for the more food production, but how to save the food wastage. We are in the top index out of 117 index, which has been released just few months back. India is, I think, at number 102 in the World Hunger Index, despite this plenty. Okay. So it's a matter of great concern that we are even below Pakistan, we are below Bangladesh, we are below Sri Lanka. They are above us. So how it is possible that once we have so much food, still we are at 102 index in the world. You see in malnutrition. So there are a lot of problems. You see the latest bushfire in Australia. It is an alarm. It is alarm for the persons who are not aware of the climate change, that how the climate change can do havoc, can destroy everything. Okay. 10 million hectare is affected. The population, the area of South Korea. Okay. 1 billion. You understand? 1 billion? 100 crore. The latest estimate. Animals have died. 100 crore animals. A lot of biodiversity, it is destroyed. So these are all challenges. We do not be serious. We are just involved that, okay, we have to be just job seekers and just do the livelihood only. Then who will intervene in all those problems? So anyway, I can just wish you a good luck, and my compliments to the faculty that they have selected such a excellent participants from 15 states. So I think your criteria must have been very strict and very transparent. So it's a really matter of pride for us, and IRI has been always one of the torchbearer, and in NEHEP also, the performance of IRI is worth praising, and always we quote to other universities, other institutions, that please come at par with at least try to come at par with the IRI. So compliments to all the organizers, to the director, to all the leadership. Dr. Vishwanath is not here today. So to everybody. So thank you once again for giving me also this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We have reached to the end of this inaugural session. Now I request Dr. Shailendra Jha, course coordinator of this training program, to propose vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, DDG Agriculture Education, ICR, Honorable Dr. A.K. Singh, Director, IARI, Dr. Rasmi Agarwal, Dean and Joint Director Education, IARI, Dr. K.M. Manjaya, Associate Dean, IARI, and all the senior faculty member of this division. On behalf of organizing team, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to Chief Guest of today's function, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, for his gracious presence and encouraging words that boosted morale of participants as well as organizers. It is immensely joyful for me to extend heartfelt gratitude to Director IARI, Dr. A.K. Singh, a teacher par excellence and source of motivation for generations of students. I would also like to thank Dr. Rasmi Agarwal, Dean and Joint Director Education, for guiding us to design this training program and organizing the program. Words are not enough to extend our gratitude to Dr. Vishwanathan and Dr. Manjaya for providing all the facilities to organize this training. I would also like to thank the dignitaries sitting in the hall for sparing their valuable time to encourage us. And most importantly, I would like to thank all the participants who come all corner of the country for joining this training. And I also would like to wish them a fruitful stay here. Thank you, one and all.
I request all the dignitaries to join for a group photo with our trainees. Please